Hi guys, as in the last section we have discussed about the state machine diagram. Let us now consider a simplified scenario involving student, course and instructor, and talk about that what we intend to do. So what I will do is I will first close this project, and then I will open a state machine diagram, and we will do it from the scratch and see how the state machine diagrams comes up. Okay, so I am just opening a blank one, um, and here you go. We'll just delete this one, not required basically. Fine. Now we have seen the state is this one, right? Now, as we have seen that the state to the transition a set of events in which you will go from one state to another state, and you will be putting this transition, and then you will show that how these object state are differentiating. Now say for example you have a state object as student. Say for example you have a class or a object basically, uh, as student in our case, right? Now if you consider student as an object, what are the states the student will be going through? If you remember, while we were drawing our UML state machine diagram, there were certain states we have just seen through, right? And in the same way, if you just okay, let me close this. If you just think about the student object, the state will be enrolled, attending classes, assignment pending, assignment submitted, grading or grade pending, then graded. This can be different kind of situation for a student object, right? Starting from enroll to attending class to assignment, all these things are coming, right? In the same way, if you start thinking about the transition what they are going through, in when the student is enrolled, the transition will be enrollment, right? When they are attending classes, the transition will be class attendance. When they are doing a assignment, an assignment submission can be a transition. When they are graded, the grading can be a submission, I mean a transition, right? That is what we you need to remember. Now if I start drawing that, what I will do is I will just bring a start state similar to the activity diagram, but here it is different. And now I will bring a state. Say for example the state name is not enrolled. Then I will drag another state, and I will name this state as enrolled. Again I will make another state, and the state name I will give, this is just for reference so that you can draw your own diagrams later, any for any of your projects or whatever. Remember, this is the state of the object. We are talking about the student object. Now I am showing you how the state keeps on changing with the change in the, or with the transition, I will say. Now attending classes is another state, and in the last I will give as completed as another state. Okay, now I have to give the transition from here. You have to be careful while giving the transitions, otherwise it will start dancing. The next transition is from enroll to attending class. You can write in between about the transition what you are doing. So in case you want to write from the beginning, you can always write it. But say for example, I want to give here something like enroll in the course is the transition. So you can keep mentioning depending upon what kind of transition it is happening. For a student object, when it is not enrolled, it has to go through a transition which is named as enroll in the course, and the object state change to enrolled after that. Then there here another transition is coming, and start class can be a transition. So after enrolling, he has to start the class, the student object or the student has to basically start the class. So you say attending class is another transition or the change of the state that happens over here. Next transition would be from attending class to completion, which means complete the course. That is another transition. So with the complete course transition, there can be another state which I can think of now is about past. You can tell it is the state can change to past, and the state can also change to failed, right? So you can keep two states. The more you can go down, the better it is. So I am just writing for reference. Failed is another transition. So what you can do, you can tell this is one transition that happens. Receiving passing grade, so I can tell receive pass, not receive. So receive pass is one transition happening over here, and there can be another transition, the failed transition, isn't it? So if somebody is failing, then that is another transition. So receive fail. So the student goes through this kind of object state, and then the transition has to go to the final state where you are ending it. So what you can do is you take that transition and point it to the end state. You take this, point it to the end state, and that completes you a full behavior, dynamic behavior of the student object. Now you can think of many other state which I have not mentioned. This is just for a reference for you to draw, and what are the key things you need to remember from the object viewpoint, and that is what I have shown here. The dynamic behavior is the main characteristics which you need to capture in any kind of state machine diagrams, right? So I wanted you to remember this particular thing, and in conclusion I can tell you that the state machine diagrams are really very important for modeling the dynamic behaviors of the object in a system, be it a student in a course management system like this, or if it is an on and off button of a device. You still need this kind of state machine diagrams, because they basically offer clarity, predictability, and thoroughness in the system development process. So you just need to keep practicing, and you can soon understand that utilizing the state machine diagram for various scenario will be really helpful for your project. Thanks, and let us go to the next section now.